Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Drew, and I want to welcome you back to Learn How to See Better. It's the only podcast out there that will improve your vision the longer you listen. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Drew, and I wanted to take a quick minute to welcome you to this episode of Learn How to See Better, the only podcast out there that'll improve your vision the longer you listen. And what I have got for you guys today is simply driven by and related to the change in the seasons. Yes, it is late September. We've just hit the turn of the season. It's no longer summer. It's officially fall. It's officially autumn. And what that means is even in Phoenix, Arizona, right, where we've been seeing one of our hottest summers on record for months now. So many days we've had consecutively over 100 degrees. So many days we've had consecutively over 110 degrees this year in 2020. One for the record books, right? But as we see the season start to change, one of the things that I like to share with all of you is that my health is very important to me and taking care of it, right? Your health is a lot like your finances. They don't take care of themselves on their own. So it requires a little bit of effort from us. And this year, one of the things I've been really focused on is trying to make sure that I'm doing some of the basic things that have to be done to make those continual deposits into the health account, right? The walk around the block, the choice of the salad over the fries, right? Just doing some things to get the heart rate up and be able to stretch, increase flexibility, increase and improve your mood, just these basic things, right? But what I find is as the seasons change, some people will fall out of sync and some people will fall into sync. And by that, I mean, as an example, if you're trying to get a exercise program going, if you choose the heat of the summer and you can build consistency there, what's going to happen is as you move into the fall and the weather gets more comfortable, logically, it's going to be a lot easier to keep that momentum going versus if you were trying to just get started at the tail end of spring and then move into summer and you haven't built any momentum yet. You haven't built any track record of consistency quite yet. So what we find is now that we're changing into the fall season, what things are you going to see change in your world? What things do you have in store to either keep doing like you've been doing? Maybe there's some things out there you want to stop doing. You realize these hot summer months were a wake-up call and there's some changes you might want to make. And then last but not least, there might be some things you want to start doing that you might want to add to your repertoire. So why I thought I would mention that here is it's the change of the season. See, people, human beings, are very cyclical creatures. And a lot of experts have gone and studied this, and it goes to show that every approximately 90 days or so, which pretty much falls in line with the change of the seasons, people need some kind of recharge, a pep up, just a quick refresh, right? To get their mind, their energy, their spirit back in harmony and then to push forth towards the goals that you may have individually set for yourself. So even though, March 21st, June 21st, September 21st and December 21st all sort of mark these milestones of the seasons changing, it doesn't really jump out at you all the time, right? Like the first of the month is the start of a new quarter, right? The 1st of October is the start of the fourth quarter. That's easy to see. You flip the page on the calendar, it's a whole new month. We speak to it differently. But when you've got, September 21st, that doesn't necessarily ring a bell in everyone's mind. Yet, if you are paying attention to nature and you're paying attention to the seasons, you're paying attention to the vibe as it changes in the world, one of the things you can do is find a way to cleverly adjust your processes to be in sync with that vibe. Perfect example, parents out there. It's back to school. So whether you're in person or virtual, there's a new vibe going on in your world where you have to adjust schedules and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. A lot different than when the kids were home all day, every day for summer. So this is just one simple example that you can look at, right? And how do you make the adjustments in your day-to-day schedule? And some of the best ways that you can do that is just to try and take stock of what you've been up to these last 3 months. What have been the activities that dictated or dominated your daily schedule? And then as you look forward over the next 3 months, what things do you have lined up that will enter your space, that may require your focus, your attention, right? We're entering the holiday season. Are you traveling this year for Thanksgiving? 2020 might be different than 2019. With regards to holiday plans, how much of that is baked into what you looked to get accomplished these next 90 days? Or is it a non-factor for you? I've had a lot of friends talk about the quarantine weight gain that they picked up over the last 6 months from not going outside and not exercising and not eating right. So now that there's some changes going on in the world, and in some areas there is possibly a degree of familiarity returning, then it goes to show that there will likely be more people outside again, more people possibly exercising again, as the availability of gyms is restored to certain areas and places. So what changes will you make, right? The gym's open, there's better food choices available, right? Isn't this a great opportunity to make changes in your health this season? And that's one of those things where, I also like that when you look at a new season or a new quarter or a new year, it gives you the opportunity to experiment with your life a little bit, to try something new, to test out a new theory, to see if it's going to work for you. Maybe now that it's 100 degrees or under 100 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona, someone can make a simple change in their lifestyle by saying, well, you know what? It's under 100. Maybe every day after dinner, I'll go for a walk around the block. It'll only take 10 minutes. It's not very hot. I won't even break a sweat, right? But it might help me burn off a little portion of that slice of pie for dessert that you might have had with dinner, or just help get your blood flowing and improve your mood, right? And maybe you don't get sleepy right after a meal and go to bed with a full stomach. These are all these just tiny little changes that you could look to implement into your daily routine. So it's the change of the seasons, and I'm essentially encouraging everyone and challenging everyone to actually do something different this season. Do you have it in you to do something drastically different than you've done the last 90 days, specifically for the purposes of making some kind of improvement in your world, be it in your health, your wealth, or with your relationships? And I'd be willing to bet that this type of focused, dedicated consistency over 90 days, it's kind of like Darren Hardy talks about in this great book, The Compound Effect. You give something 90 days, and that's going to give it an opportunity to actually take hold. They say it takes 3 weeks for something to become a new habit, 21 days, 30 days, 40 days to really ingrain it into your persona. And then after 90 days, the compound effect really takes hold. So hopefully you take note of just the changing of the seasons. This is that friendly reminder. Summer's over, kids. Back to school, whether you're in the classroom or not, whether you're a small tot or grown adult listening to this and thinking about what ways you'll be taking advantage of the fall semester, right? And improving your life. Will you learn something new? Will you gain something valuable? Will you build a new relationship? Will you improve a relationship? Will you repair a relationship? Will you learn something that can assist with your wealth? Will you learn something that can help make you a little healthier, right? Some nutrition information, some physical activity information that might be new to you. These are all simple and subtle little changes. I know that in 2020, a lot more people spend time consuming content and education online via video and podcasts as opposed to traditional classrooms. So this can be a great opportunity, again, for anyone that might feel like they're a late bloomer in this arena. Guess what? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So if you find the need for a new skill that you need to develop, or just a new way of looking at things, a new perspective, never feel like it's too late to make some of these changes to your world, because you've got the power to be able to do that. And so when you think about how you go about doing it, it may be as simple as understanding two things. When you look at making changes, do you need assistance? Do you need assistance? Because if you do, assistance is abundant, right? Just being able to ask for help can be one of the key things that assist with getting the assistance, being willing to ask for help. And sometimes people need an assistant, someone that's like a sidekick to really, hold their hand or coach or mentor to guide them along. But everyone's different, and it's important to be able to recognize the difference in the two And so with that, I just wanted to share a couple of points to encourage you that when you're looking to take advantage of this change in the seasons, don't be afraid to look back over the last quarter to get some insight into what's been happening in your world, the things you like, the things you didn't like, and what you've got on your roadmap for these next 90 days. Where might be some areas where you can tighten up and make some subtle enhancements that provide you with value, where you can be the true beneficiary. So hopefully you don't mind this little bit of motivation to get your September wrapped up and your October started as we launch into the autumn season, the fall season, football season, whatever season you want to call it. So with that, thanks again for listening and joining me today. I can't wait to have you join me on the next episode to learn how to see better. Thanks a lot and tune in soon.